Welcome back to the channel. Yes, Wall Street Bravado, live in effect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is video number 2, by the way. It's gonna get better. Today we're gonna talk about, first of all, smash that like button. Second of all, subscribe to the channel. More videos to come every week. Finance, investments, raising capital, building your business, creating wealth within your community. Let's talk about raising capital. Number one, raising capital can be a very challenging process for some people, and then for others, they have no clue. But I'm here to tell you that raising capital, I would say it's easy because you have to go down the right avenues. You have to know where the money is. Once you figure that out, it's done. It's a very simple process. And I'll give you an idea, and I'll give you a quick story also of how my business partner and myself went about raising capital and did it in a, I would say, reasonable amount of time for a substantial amount of money, going to the right sources. All right, let's start with number one. Raising capital for a startup company, then you have raising capital for an existing business. Some of those avenues are different. Startup companies, on a small scale, you're looking for a seed round. You're gonna go to mainly friends and family. You're gonna use a lot of your own money, or you're gonna take out a loan. For an existing business, you're probably gonna do an stock issuance or something like that, something along those lines, or you're gonna go through some other channels along those lines. But we're gonna talk more so about a smaller business, small scale, because I'm trying to help out more so the smaller investors and people that are trying to come out from the ground floor. All right, so basically what we did was we went out and we, I would say, sent some cold emails to possible investors. We met with people and we were pitching people left and right, but that wasn't really working. So one of the things that we did wrong, and a lot of people do wrong with raising capital, is that they don't understand the process, and they don't have a clue of which individuals to target when you're raising capital. Okay, in order to raise capital, you have to have skin in the game. That's number one. Investors do not want to look at a pitch book or a business plan or any type of proposal from a potential individual if that individual is not 100% vested in the business. So that's number one. You got to have skin in the game. No investor is going to give you any money if you don't have any skin in the game. Number two, you have to go to the right source. When I say source, you have angel investors, you have nonprofits, you have high net worth individuals, and you have to be and surround yourself with these individuals and stay in contact with them on an ongoing basis. It's very important. Number three, and we're going to move right through this. In order to get around these individuals, you have to build networks with them. Well, how? Wait a minute, hold on. Wall Street Bravado, how do you do that? I don't know how to get to these high net worth individuals. I'll tell you what we did. Basically what we did, I went to every single country club within my region. Well, I wouldn't say region, within my area, where I knew I can find very affluent individuals, and my business partner and I sat down and we joined these country clubs. So there you go, entree. That's how we started building relationships with very high net worth individuals and people that were looking to invest capital. Number two, well, in a sense, along with that, we also joined private clubs, which was a private dinner club. I'm not going to get into any details of the name of the clubs and things like that, but joining these very affluent clubs helped us get in the door with these particular investors. Another thing that we did that really helped us out a lot was we were very, and people will see this, we were very diligent in the process to make sure that our business dealings and everything that we did as far as our business, which was raising capital for real estate projects, we made sure that everything was tight. And when I say tight, everything has to be tight as far as your business is concerned. Your office staff, down to your website, down to everything that you have going on behind the scenes. People want to invest money because they want to see that, hey, XYZ, you're in it to win it, you're 100% committed, and I see that when I come into your office, everything looks clean. When I say clean, I don't mean physically clean. I'm talking about your setup is clean. Everything that you're doing is clean. You're experienced. You've been in the business for a long time. You know what you're doing. You have people behind you. Now, a couple other things. No one wants to be first in. They're fearful of that. When I say first in, no one wants to be the first person to put their money on the table and say, hey, I hope you guys make it happen. Nobody wants to feel like that. So you don't want to be the first. They don't want to be the first one in. You don't want to be the first one in. You have to be the first one in because you're holding it together. You're the person that's saying, hey, I can make it happen. Moving forward, when you're raising capital, the challenges are, one of the challenges, and this is the funny thing, is not knowing how much money to ask for. Am I asking for too much or am I asking for too little? And we've had instances where we were on both sides. Not asking for enough capital can show to an investor that, hey, these people don't know what they're talking about. Or asking for too much capital doesn't make any sense. I'll give you an example. If you're a startup company, you have everything is pre-revenue, and you're looking for your first seed round, and you're asking for 1.5 million. No one's going to give that to you. On a seed round, you're looking at 50 to 250K. You know, a million to 2 million. That's a Series A round. B, C, D, and it's up the ladder. So you got to know how much. Sit down, understand the numbers, know how much you're asking for, get in front of the right people. Now, my thing, what we used to do, I used to get in front of 2 to 3 possible investors every week. Every week I would go to someone. 2 to 3 investors every week. And that was important. I would always have to have fresh people within the rotation. Otherwise, you're not going to find anyone. Now, if you get in front of someone with a solid business plan and you're committed, you have a business partner. A lot of investors don't like going in with a solo person because it shows that nobody else believes in your idea. So bring your business partner along, find a business partner, you guys or gals or whoever, team up. It shows that you guys have the ability, founder, co-founder, to have a vision and share that vision with someone else. Meet people that are in their industry, understand what's going on, and go out and raise that capital. Get in front of these people. Now the banks are very challenging right now. And certain banks are looking for very strict requirements. So I would mainly gear myself more towards your private networks to raise your first rounds of capital. And it's going to be, it's once you get a swing of things, once you have things down and you have a solid understanding of how this thing works, and you're surrounding yourself with these people on a regular basis, it's not going to be very difficult. They're going to give the money to you because they want to have a part of that opportunity. They see that you're working. They see that you're doing something that makes sense, something that's tangible, something that's productive, and that's how it works. It's not rocket science, and it's not that difficult. It's not easy. It's 50-50. It depends how you play it. Put your money on the line, get around the right people, pitch these guys. Every time you get an opportunity to pitch, you should be pitching so you can get better and better at it. Every time you have opportunity to shake a hand, you shake a hand. You give out those business cards. You go to those brunches. You go to the golf course. You go to the non-profit events. You do all of these things. These are all, anytime you get in front of someone, it's a likeliness that person might know someone else. It might not be direct, it might be an indirect relationship, but they might know someone else. So it's about proper branding of your business, getting in front of these people, pitching clients, making people feel comfortable. A lot of this is all just relationship driven. That's all it's about. It's about making friends and meeting people. Not as complicated as you would think. And actually, the thing that happened with us was we were out raising capital and pitching people, and our first investor really didn't come from a pitch. It came from a friend that knew someone else that came by one of our development properties, saw what we were doing. We didn't pitch him, he pitched us. He said, you guys know what you're doing. You guys are sharp. How many properties do you have? How often have you been doing this? What's your profit margins? What's your cap rate? He was like, hey, this looks good. I've got some cash hanging around, and I wanna play in the ball game. Let's get it started. So that's kind of like how we found our first investor, and hopefully this was helpful. It's very general because it's more geared towards newer people, and as we get into more detail, we'll get into further down the line, we'll get into VC funding. I don't like to use venture capital because venture capital usually takes 25% off the top as far as equity ownership, and starting out, that's not what you really want to do. You don't want to have 25% of your company sold off to someone else off the break. And that's it. I'm gonna end it right here. And Twitter, every single day I'm out on Twitter. And once again, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, look out for the next video.